What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've seen you. I've missed you guys, but I'm back. Long story short, I graduated last year, so I took some time off, guys, to do some traveling and also spending some quality time with people I love back home. Also, during the time that I took off, I did a lot of calculated training and rehab to get my body back into the shape that it was. Honestly, I was dealing with some injuries, some nagging pains, but I'm all good now. I feel fine. I feel great actually, and I'm just happy to get back into it. But enough about me. I recently announced a Q&A on my Insta story, asking you guys to ask me anything fitness related that you're curious about or you want to know more. And I must say, you guys delivered, man. You guys had some great questions, and like I said in my Instagram, it will only be fair to answer them in a proper detailed video. So enough chit chat and on to the first topic that you guys want me to address. How do you build a nicer, fuller butt? First off, I just want to say this is not a tutorial video. I'm not gonna teach you proper form or proper execution here. I'm just here to break down a typical booty workout so you guys can have a better understanding of how to go about your workouts to target the booty the way you want to do it. You know, Instagram and YouTube has tons of workout videos by fitness personalities, Instagram models that you guys have seen and probably have followed. Hopefully by the end of this video, you would know how to set up your own routine and know what you want to prioritize in terms of building a nicer looking butt. So let's start by looking at the anatomy of a butt. All I want you to see is that those muscles go in every single direction, whether it's up, to the side, down, diagonal, you name it, there's a muscle going in that direction. So in my humble opinion, a common or typical booty workout consists of 4 major components. 1, a push movement. 2, a pull movement. 3, a thrust movement. And 4, a lift movement. So let's start with the push movement. Push movement comes in many different variations such as presses, squats, lunges, and step-ups. And within these variations, there are even more variations. For example, for presses, you have a machine press, and sometimes people even use the Smith machine as a leg press. Examples of squat variations, there is the back squat, the front squat, the goblet squat, and the sumo squat, just to name a few. And in terms of lunges, the ones that I could think about are a normal lunge, a side lunge, and a cross lunge. In terms of step-ups, I could only think of single leg step-ups and side-to-side step-ups. These are all considered push movements because the key is using your feet to push off. However, it is important to keep in mind that your butt is not a primary mover in this movement. A lot of your quads and your hamstrings comes into play within these movements. So this is where I hear a lot of complaints from girls where they implement a push movement into their workout, or they somehow implement too much push movements into their workout, and the result of that is their thighs got bigger in comparison with their butt. Given some girls are okay with getting bigger thighs, you know, but a lot of girls actually don't want bigger thighs and they just want to target their butt. So actually consider not implementing too much of these movements into your lift if you don't want bigger thighs. There are other variations that I'm gonna get into if you just want to specifically target your glutes/butt. Number 2, we have pull movements. Variations of the pull movements include deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, stiff leg deadlifts, hyperextensions, and single leg pulls. The key to pull movement here is to understand that your hips becomes the primary hinge of the movement. And what I mean by that is your hips becomes the folding point of the movement. Pull movements generally involve less of your quads and more of your hamstrings and your glutes. So by incorporating pull movements, I doubt your thighs would grow as fast or as big in comparison with implementing push movements. Both the push and pull movements incorporate glutes at the upper portion of your lifts. So the contraction of your glutes at the top is what we're looking for. Thirdly, we have thrust movements. Variations of thrust movements include hip thrust, single leg hip thrust, cable hip thrust, Smith machine kneeling hip thrust, and probably a few more that I've never heard of. So within this variation, the goal is to contract and target your glutes specifically. Similar to pull movements, your hips becomes the hinge of the movement. Also, hamstrings and glutes are involved in these movements, but the glutes are more heavily involved compared to the hamstrings here. Hence, these movements are a great way to target your glutes/butt. Lastly, we have lift movements. Variations of lift movements that I can think of are standing leg lifts, bench leg lifts, bench side to side leg lifts, weighted leg lifts, cable leg lifts, and many others that I'm sure I've not been aware of yet. Lift movements are the only movements that only target your glutes. By doing lift movements, your glute contraction is maximized. By incorporating a lot of lift movements, you'll definitely get a lot of good work into your glutes/butt. And that's basically it. The examples in these videos that I've shown you guys may not be all there is, but I sure hope by watching this video, you guys and girls have a better understanding of how a typical booty workout goes. I'm just here to give you some ideas and some inspirations that you can, implement to your weekly routine or your training. So before I end this video, I would just like to set out a challenge for you guys. The challenge is to implement 2 variations of each component 3 to 4 times into your weekly routine. Keep it up for about a month or 2 months. And let me know if you see any changes or you got a step closer into achieving your goals. But other than that, that's the video, guys. This has been fun. I'm signing out now. Peace.